fire, the one desire, believe when I say I want it that way. But we are two worlds apart, can't reach to your heart when you say that I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Now I can see that we've fallen apart from the way that it used to be. Yeah, no matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire, the one desire. You are. Don't wanna hear you say nothing. Ain't nothing but a mistake. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. I get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. Man, I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey there, baby, I could use just a little help. You can't start a fire.
everyone, and welcome to the Texas A&M University Corpus Christi Spring 2025 Commencement Ceremony, being held at the American Bank Center in beautiful downtown Corpus Christi. Delivering today's commencement address is Dr. Scott Elliff, Islander class of 1982, 1986, and 2012. Dr. Elliff is a lifelong educator and leader with over 40 years of experience, including serving as superintendent of Corpus Christi ISD and most recently as associate clinical professor of educational administration at A&M Corpus Christi.
Please be seated. Welcome, Islanders. My name is Kelly Miller, and I have the privilege of serving as the president of Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, I am pleased to welcome you, our honored graduates, proud parents, family, and friends of the Island University to our Spring 2025 commencement ceremony. I'm thrilled to share that this spring we're celebrating our largest class ever with over 1,409 students in this graduating class. There will be several times during the ceremony that we will ask the graduates and members of the audience to stand. Please do so as you are able. Now, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Texas A&M University Corpus Christi ROTC Islander Battalion, and remain standing for the national anthem to be sung by Miss Jessica Valdez, a senior majoring in music in the School of Arts, Media, and Communication. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket rig clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. You may have noticed that our singer was in her cap and gown because she will be graduating this ceremony. She has sung the national anthem for us many times, but I don't ever think more beautifully than she just did. Let's give her another brilliant round of applause. Please help me welcome Mr. Tim Eaton, Acting Vice Chancellor for Marketing and Communication, who will bring us greetings from the Texas A&M system.
Good afternoon, Corpus Christi. President Miller, faculty, family members, and most importantly, today's graduates. I'm honored to be here today to bring greetings and well wishes from the Texas A&M University system. Today's a very special day. To those graduating, let me say that I am personally proud to be here to celebrate with such a diverse and unique set of graduates. Today, after years of hard work, many long nights of studying, and undoubtedly plenty of good times too, you've proved that you're capable of achieving the loftiest of goals. One thing's for sure, this significant accomplishment demonstrates your great depth of character and your ability to rise to the occasion. For more than 140 years, the universities of the Texas A&M University system have been dedicated to helping students just like you. Now, we at the system would like to challenge you to carry on our proud legacy of service and helping others. Please consider taking all that you have learned here to make a positive impact on your community and the world. We'll be watching, as will your fellow graduates and everybody that came before you. We look forward to seeing the great things that you will do. So to each and every one of you, we at the A&M system want to say congratulations and Godspeed. Thank you and good luck.
At this time, I would like to introduce members of the platform party who will not be introduced elsewhere in the program. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Ahmed Mahdi, Executive Vice President for Research and Innovation. Mr. John LaRue, Vice President for Institutional Excellence and Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer. Ms. Jamie Nadarsi Barrera, Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Mr. Andrew Rogers, Vice President for Finance and Administration and Chief Financial Officer. Dr. Brenda Harms, Vice President for Enrollment Management. Mr. Adrian Rodriguez, Vice President for Student Engagement and Success and Intercollegiate Athletics. Mr. Derek Hyatt, Interim Dean of Libraries. Dr. David Ma, Dean of the College of Engineering and Computing Science. Dr. Kyoko Amano, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. Dr. Hassan Aziz, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Dr. Joshua Watson, Dean of the College of Education and Human Development. Also, please help me recognize our Student Government Association members and Islander ambassadors, please stand, for assisting throughout today's ceremony. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our Spring 2025 commencement speaker, Dr. Scott Elliff, a three-time Islander graduate whose journey with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi spans more than 40 years. Dr. Elliff earned his bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees here at the Island University. A lifelong resident of Nueces County, he has dedicated his entire career to serving the students, educators, and families of South Texas. From his time as superintendent of Corpus Christi ISD to his impactful teaching and mentorship in the Island University's College of Education and Human Development, Dr. Elliff has built not only a legacy of educators, but strong, compassionate leaders. In 2013, he was named Texas Superintendent of the Year by the Texas PTA, and in 2017, he was recognized as A&M Corpus Christi's Distinguished Alumnus. Beyond the classroom, Dr. Elliff has served in leadership roles with more than 30 nonprofit organizations and currently serves children in foster care through CASA of the Coastal Bend. He has also created an endowed scholarship in education to support future Islander teachers and administrators. As he prepares to close this remarkable chapter of his professional journey with his official retirement, we are honored to have him speak at today's commencement ceremony. Please join me in welcoming a beloved member of our community who is an Islander forever and a true advocate of education, Dr. Scott Elliff.
Thank you. You're a beautiful sight today. Congratulations. When Dr. Miller invited me to speak at today's ceremony, I was both honored and concerned. Honored because of my deep affection for an institution that I've been connected to for 45 years, first as a student and more recently as a faculty member. So speaking today as I am ending this chapter of my career as an educator is truly an honor. Concerned though, because I have been on both the giving and receiving end of several commencement speeches over the years. Some have been inspiring and memorable, others not so much. And so wanting to be sure that I gave all of you my very best, I started where you would think any commencement speaker in 2025 would begin, ChatGPT. And seeking options, my prompt was, create 2 memorable, highly motivating university commencement speeches. Each speech should be approximately 15 minutes in duration and avoid highly controversial political topics. And just like that, my AI buddy spit out 2 ready-to-deliver speeches. The first was titled, "The Power of Showing Up," and the other more mysteriously named, "The Space Between Success and Significance." And while those were a good start, using AI to create remarks for this important occasion seemed phony at best and unethical at worst. So I turned to Google for tips on writing great commencement speeches, and the lists of suggestions were largely the same. Remember that the graduates are your audience. Use humor. Stay away from politics and religion, and so on. The most consistent, though, was the advice to keep it short and remember that no one in the audience came to hear your speech. You all want to get your diplomas and get on to the party. There you go. Now, what to speak about? Words of wisdom don't always come easily to me, but I have learned a lot from my students over the years. I begin my first class each fall with an icebreaker I call dichos. Dichos is the Spanish word for sayings or proverbs, and I ask the students to share a dicho that has been significant in their life. Usually it's something that a parent, a grandparent, or a teacher said to them when they were young. For example, one dicho that is shared every year, inevitably, is one that my own father told me when I was in junior high, not long before he passed away. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres, which translates literally as, tell me who you go with and I will tell you who you are. Or in English we might say, birds of a feather flock together, or if you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. And I think that one turns up every year because it's the truth. Last year, one student, Josh, shared one I hadn't heard before. Don't take criticism from someone whose advice you wouldn't take. I really like that, and I wished I'd heard that before I became superintendent. And of course, there are many others. To thine own self be true. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And my personal favorite, don't believe everything you think. Any one of these dichos my students had shared could be the foundation for a good speech. But my mind kept turning to you, this audience of scholars today, celebrating many achievements. You who tomorrow will be adding letters after your names and titles to your resumes and business cards. You of whom much more will be expected in the days and years to come, simply by virtue of what today's rite of passage signifies. You, marking these accomplishments in what often seem to be uncertain times. So I'm going to speak to you from my heart as a teacher, a father, and a grandfather, and now someone who's reached the end of a long career and the beginning of a new adventure in retirement. And while this message is for all of you, I do especially hope those of you who are receiving your bachelor's degrees today will pay close attention. Your professors and mentors have prepared you well for the challenges that you'll face in your professional endeavors, and you will excel in those endeavors by correctly applying the knowledge and skills that they've taught you. But knowledge and skills alone will not carry you the distance. I believe that your success in life will depend on much more than techniques and technology. Now, more than ever, who you are and how you show up in your life will be the true measure of your success. So I want you to consider carrying 4 words with you as you cross the stage today. 4 words that I believe are essential for a good life. The first word is connection. Connection. 400 years ago, the English poet John Donne wrote, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main." Donne's words remind us that we are all part of a web of connections, an interdependent celebration of our diversity. Of course, the natural world is already showing this to us in abundance. Take Pando, for example. Never heard of Pando? Among the largest living organisms on the planet, Pando is a 106-acre quaking aspen, appearing above ground to be a grove comprised of thousands of individual trees rising in the mountains of Utah. But in fact, Pando is actually a multitude of stems from one tree connected by an intricate underground network of roots. The appearance is individuality, while the reality is quite literally rooted in connection. Like Pando, our species, too, is rooted together, wired for connection. In 1938, Harvard University began what has become the longest longitudinal study of human behavior in history. Continuing to this day, the Harvard study of adult development has sought to answer the question, what makes people flourish? The simple conclusion reached over those nearly 90 years of study is that good relationships are the key to health and happiness. So I urge you to make strong relationships a goal, to focus on making and keeping connections with other people, not the counterfeit connections of social media and Zoom calls, but be intentional about nurturing relationships within your family, your workplace, and your community by being present, by talking with, not to, other humans. Instead of sending an email, step out of your workspace and go talk to someone face to face. Silence your cell phones. Listen with your heart as well as your ears. And always remember that you are wired for connections. The second word is about how we fuel and maintain those connections, and that word is compassion. Compassion. Researcher and author Dr. Brené Brown writes that the inextricable connection among all people cannot be broken, but it can be forgotten. Well, compassion is precisely how we remember that connection. And self-centeredness, indifference, and isolation are precisely how we forget it. Compassion is a feeling of care and concern for others, and empathy is the ability to understand and share others' feelings. But it seems that compassion and empathy are under threat these days. In February, for example, the richest man on the planet told the most popular podcast host on the planet that the fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. With my whole heart, I believe that's false. When we stop recognizing the dignity of every human being, when we casually use language that dehumanizes those who live their lives differently than we do, when we turn a blind eye to the suffering of others, the memory of that inextricable connection that Dr. Brown writes about is slowly forgotten. Our minds close and our hearts harden. Rather than being fundamentally weak, I believe that compassion and empathy are what strengthen the fabric of our society. You can maintain a soft heart and a strong back at the same time. So recognize the challenges that others may be experiencing and then extend yourself to them in compassion. The third word I hope you take with you today is curiosity. Curiosity. In the field of education, we talk a lot about being lifelong learners. And certainly what we mark today in this ceremony is both a celebration of the value of higher education and your personal commitment to lifelong learning. But these days, it appears we have become much more interested in protecting our own ideas and opinions than considering even the possibility of other ways of thinking. And the social media giants are profiting greatly from the battles that we are willing to fight with complete strangers just to prove that we are right. More than a century ago, the English philosopher Herbert Spencer wisely observed, "There is a principle which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is contempt prior to investigation." Or as one of my good friends likes to say, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. My colleague, Dr. Faye Brune, shared a wonderful book with me last year, Think Again, by Adam Grant. And Grant distinguishes between values as what we feel is important and beliefs as what we think is true. Without a doubt, clarity about both your values and beliefs is essential. But, Grant suggests, when your identity is wrapped up in your beliefs, anything that challenges those or admitting you were wrong feels like a major threat. You are more than your thoughts. Nurture your curiosity and allow it to grow. Ask questions. Seek out people whose lived experiences are different than yours. Become comfortable with ambiguity and be willing to struggle with ideas that may be new to you. And for goodness sake, don't believe everything you think. And the final word I urge you to take along your journey beyond today's ceremony is courage. Courage. At the climax of the 1999 movie, Never Been Kissed, Josie, played by Drew Barrymore, makes an impassioned speech at the senior prom, and she concludes with this: "Find out who you are and try to not be afraid of it." That line from a 25-year-old teen movie describes what I think many of us experience. We spend our entire lives just learning who we are and mustering the courage to be ourselves. Courage has its origins in the Latin word for heart. To have courage is much more than bravery or bluster. Courage is being wholehearted. And wholeheartedly just being yourself in today's world takes a lot of courage. Nowadays, there's a great value being placed on uniformity, to flatten the rich, colorful layers of our differences into something two-dimensional and monochromatic, or to just imitate what's projected back to us through our handheld devices. "To thine own self be true," wrote Mr. Shakespeare. And being your true, authentic self carries the real risk of suffering. But trust me on this. The suffering you might experience by being true to yourself is far less painful than the suffering of being anything less. From my vantage point at the edge of age and experience, I truly believe the most courageous, wholehearted action you can take is to be yourself. Beautiful and brilliant and unafraid. Connection, compassion, curiosity, and courage. Let these words both lead and accompany you on your journey into the next phase of your beautiful life. I said earlier that I've given a few commencement speeches over the years, and I reread some of those in preparation for today. I recalled a speech I gave 11 years ago in this very arena, and the closing sentiments I shared with the graduates then are the same that I want to share with you now. So in the words of Bob Dylan, this is my wish for you. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy, may your feet always be swift. May you have a firm foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful, and may your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young.
Well, there's a man who makes his Islander impact every day. I hope that the rest of you have seen an example to follow. Thank you so much, Scott. We will now turn to the important business of conferring degrees. I would like to call on Dr. Kate Radowski, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will present the candidates for graduation. Dr. Radowski.
While pursuing a degree from Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, our students are privileged to work with outstanding faculty who are directly responsible for their success. They inspire, motivate, and mentor our students in classes and outside the formal learning experience. They are a very talented, hardworking group committed to providing a high-quality education. It is with great pride and enthusiasm that I present to you the faculty of Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. Will the faculty please stand and let us thank you for your commitment to our students. Our processional this morning was led by Dr. Dino Mulich, Associate Professor of Piano for the School of Arts, Media, and Communications. A native of Sarajevo, Dr. Mulich is a Yamaha artist and earned his doctorate in piano performance and pedagogy from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Among his proudest achievements, he founded the Sarajevo Chamber Music Festival and created Piano Celebration Week at TAMU-CC, a major annual event that brings world-renowned pianists and hundreds of young musicians together, inspiring and transforming the piano community across South Texas. Now I would like to recognize the academic leaders for each of the colleges represented at this ceremony. The Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Brian Teege. The Associate Dean of the College of Science, Dr. Barbara Zorbinska. The Director of the School of Arts, Media, and Communication, Dr. Diana Sipes. Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi presently offers courses of study leading to 47 bachelor's degrees. Will all the candidates for the bachelor's degrees please stand and remain standing? Dr. Miller. Dr. Miller. The faculty and deans of Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and I are pleased to certify to you that the candidates who appear before you and whose names appear on the official list have met all college and university requirements for the bachelor's degree for which they have studied and are entitled to receive. Please be seated. Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi presently offers courses of study leading to 35 master's degrees. Will the candidates for the master's degree please stand? Dr. Miller, the faculty and deans at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and I are pleased to certify to you that the candidates who appear before you and whose names appear on the official list have met all college and university requirements for the master's degree for which they have studied and are entitled to receive. Please be seated. Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi presently offers courses of study leading to 8 doctoral and terminal degrees. Will all the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Marine Biology and Masters of Fine Arts degrees please stand? Dr. Miller, the faculty and deans of Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and I are pleased to certify to you that the candidates who appear before you and whose names appear on the official list have met all the college and university requirements for the terminal degree for which they have studied and are entitled to receive. Please be seated. Now would all the candidates please stand and remain standing? Dr. Miller, please join me at the podium.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the Texas A&M University System, I hereby confer upon you the particular degree to which you are entitled, with all the honors, rights, privileges, prerogatives, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. Those earning a bachelor's degree can now turn your class rings to face outward and shift your tassels from the right to the left, symbolizing the awarding of the degrees. I offer my congratulations and those of the A&M Corpus Christi faculty and staff for your accomplishments. Congratulations, grads. Shaka's up. Please be seated.
I would like to make special mention of those bachelor's degree students who will graduate with academic honors. These students must have completed at least 45 undergraduate semester hours at A&M Corpus Christi. In this ceremony, we have a total of 126 students receiving these honors. Students graduate cum laude if their grade point average is 3.5 to 3.699 and can be distinguished by their green cords. Would you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, you may be seated. Students graduate magna cum laude if their grade point average is 3.7 through 3.899 and can be distinguished by their blue cords. Would you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, you may be seated. In this ceremony, we have 15 students graduate summa cum laude if their grade point average is 3.9 or above and can be distinguished by their silver cords. Would you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, you may be seated. In this ceremony, we have 15 undergraduate students who are graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA. Would you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, you may be seated. We also want to recognize our graduates from the university's honors program. These students have completed at least 18 credit hours of honors courses, along with community and university service and a senior project of excellence. Honors program graduates, congratulations. These are all significant academic accomplishments, and on behalf of our faculty, staff, and all others present today, I extend to all of you sincere congratulations. We will now proceed to the hooding of candidates for their terminal degrees. Doctoral and Master of Fine Arts degrees are considered the highest degrees one can achieve in United States universities. The Dean of the College, along with the graduates' major professors, will assist in hooding our doctoral candidates and Masters of Fine Arts candidates. Dr. Carmen Tejado Delgado, Professor of Education and Director of Transformative Alliance for Student Success in the College of Education and Human Development, will read the names and graduate major professor for candidates.
Dr. Elizabeth Randy DiBona, Director of Philosophy and Marine Biology. Assisting Major Professor, Dr. Frank Seaman. Dr. Alexandra May Good, Doctor of Philosophy and Marine Biology. Assisting Major Professor, Dr. Keisha Barr. William Christopher Burkholder, Master of Fine Arts in Studio Art. Assisting Major Professor, Professor Jonathan Durham. Ashley Nicole Burnett, Master of Fine Arts in Studio Art. Assisting Major Professor, Professor Leandra Urrutia. Mariana Rubalcaba Cruz, Master of Fine Arts in Studio Art. Assisting Major Professor, Professor Leandra Urrutia. Jonathan Charles Garza, Master of Fine Arts in Studio Art. Assisting Major Professor, Professor Joe Pena. At this time, we will proceed by the order of college with the awarding of master's degrees, followed by the awarding of the bachelor's degrees. College of Business, Master of Accountancy, Alejandro Albino Rodriguez. Karen Ann Aviles Polis. Christopher Bereyesa. Myra Cervantes. Brandon Daniel Chavarria. Julia Ley Delgado. Julo Chaz Rigo. Danielle Elizabeth Excel. Brianna Lizette Flores. Kelsey Lee Garcia. Adriana Yadira Gonzalez. Brooke Yonner. Jessica Morgan Lester. Jamie Michelle McCaffrey. Michelle Montoya. Tuvet V. T. Nguyen. Depeche Pockrell. Rochelle Ramon. Lily Deanne Reed. Justin Robinette. Madeline Marie Smith. Patsy S. Susser. Cassandra Trejo. Julie Ann Truex. College of Business, Master of Business Administration, Sophia Arebindin. Arlia Lafo Castro, Mauro Alanis, Barbara Elisbieta Alexander Sahadevan, Melanie Renee Anderson, Tolu Lope Olinra Waji Ariyibi, Carrie Babette, Wideshi Benzo, Richard Michael Brachetti, Alexandra Rochelle Cabrera, Isaiah Michael Calanche, Tabitha Ria Campos, Alyssa Irene Canales, Dylan Andrew Castaneda, Corey A. Castillo, Kayla Chapa, Jamie Marie Daly, Yvette Mia De Leon, Thomas Dervantanian, Marissa Lorraine Dodd, Joel Connor Dominguez, Sutri Priya Iswarnan, Setra Priya Esrayan, Cynthia Lerma Elias, Luis Alberto Elizondo, Darius Evans, Rodolfo Valentino Folino, Abraham Silverio Galaviz, Cynthia Garcia, Amanda Ilian Garrett, Clarissa Renee Garza, Kimberly Jane Giles, Stephen M. Giwa, Luis Adrian Gomez, Alyssa Gonzalez, Lorraine Nicole Gonzalez Martinez, Valerie Ann Gonzalez, Lily Gidry, Ashton Spencer Hoplitzel, Nabil N. Hader, Brittany Nicole Hertler, Lorena Herrera, Felixia Hinojosa, Jared Danielle Hosel, Omar Jimenez, Cynthia Javette Johnson, Sunday Christine Jones, Lauren E. Joyle, Dominic Wattis, Taylor Akion Kabasa Hopkins, Samuel Kearns, James David Kirsch, Dmitry Kuleshov, Allison Lorraine Lambert, Kaylin Lam Pentama, Adela Lu Lawal, Hannah M. Layla, Brandy Elizabeth Tice, Kendall Renee Lopez, Rijo Jose Luis, Angelica Marie Maldonado, Matthew Ellis Malion, Abigail Manning, Luz Elena Martinez Rico, Milka Matios, Victor Trevon McGinnis, Chrysanthia Trinicia Moore, Jonathan Lawrence Moore, Emma Lynn Mosley, Sandagopan Muralit Ar, Catherine Muasoyo, Philip Nguyen, Yvonne Huang Nguyen, Christopher Michael Ochoa, Olalekan Ogunsakin, Ishmael Eric Oliwi Niunya, Tolu Lorpe Orlonior, Rico J. Olvera, Erica Irene Ordaz, Jeffrey Wayne Parks, Ashley Ann Peachy, Lynn Pham, Christiana Platts, Brittany Janelle Puente, Jeremy Palomero, John Douglas Rose, Suzanne Marie Ross, Ibad Safi, Kathleen Saldivar, Denise Salinas, Pablo Bernardo Saravilla, Angela Scaria, Courtney Michelle Schweizer, Chandler Bryce Smith, Faye Metzger Smith, Christian Spillman, Eva Christine Stubbs, Tracy Ackman, Mufanos Ackman, Florence Swan, Paul Tadros, Leah Michelle Terry Harvey, Francisco Tovar, Mela B. Trevino, Ritish Varuna Panja, Jennifer Marie Vasquez, Nyat Fongo, Brandon Lewis Walker, Travis McLeod Warden, Sarah Winland, Tyler M. Wenzel, Jefferson Jacob Wharton, Elizabeth Anne-Marie Whitmire, Alona Wilson, Kaylee Nicole Wimp, Grace Mendoza Wymore, Ruben Yintedsi, Hadia Asanzadi, Elena Zink, College of Science, Master of Science, Niranjan Reddy, Chandana Khir Reddy Chala, Travis Danik, Victoire de la Tour, Casey Ling Gallagher, Saiti Raj Gasi, Anastasia Galavantenko, Janavi Krishna Koda, Remy Labriel, Nikita Pamidi, Jessica Leigh Peterson, Anil Vailopu, Quincy Elias Skywalker, School of Arts, Media and Communication, Master of Arts, Brittany Ann Esqueda, August Marie Garcia, College of Education and Human Development, Master of Science, Paige Adivia Allen, College of Business, Bachelor of Business Administration, Riley K. Ashton, cum laude, Ali Nicole Acuna, Brandon I. Anguiano, Robert Arredondo, Jimena Arredondo Ortega, summa cum laude, Paulina Erica Baez, cum laude, Daniel Matthew Baker, cum laude, Madeline Elizabeth Baker, cum laude, Jennifer Casey Belbin, Angelita Aleman Barrera, Gilbert Javier Barrera, magna cum laude, Haley Morgan Bao, Leela Raya Bellucci, Heidi Jeanette Bell, Maria Benavides, Catherine Lizette Campos, magna cum laude, Sarah E. Cantu, Brayden E. Carlisle, Cullen Patrick Casey, Casey Lee Gosselis, magna cum laude, Madeline Grace Christian, Justice Christopher, Aiden Christopher Clark, magna cum laude, Jacob P. Clark, magna cum laude, Rylan West Cotton, Ethan Isam Crane, Samuel Jet Cummings, Rachel Alexandra Damp, Madison L. Dimpleby, Kaylee J. Dawsey, Caleb M. Embersol, Maya Nicole Ellis, Jessica Grace Elms, Rosanna Maria Esparza, Joanna Alicia Espinosa, Joseph Luis Farah, Isalia Socorro Fernandez, Olivia Grace Florence, cum laude. Receiving a posthumous degree from the College of Business, Catherine Bassett, Bachelor of Business Administration and Marketing, accepting on her behalf her close family friend, Grace Schroeder. Stephen Flores, Noel G. Fries, Doyle Callahan Fulton, Cole Wesley Gaddy, Crystal Lynette Garcia, Enrique Emmanuel Garza, Anika N. Gomez, Juan Francisco Gonzalez III, Morgan Gabriela Grant, Gracie M. Gravis, Leah Mackenzie Guerra, Deandra Brooke Guzman, Cristelda M. Hernandez, magna cum laude, Isabella Hernandez Betancourt, Rhea Monroe Hooper, Rhea Aiden Ray Huerta, Gabriela Beatriz Ibanez, Nicole Catherine Ivory, summa cum laude, Ariel Lee Hassel, Logan M. Johnson, cum laude, William George Joyce II, Evan Douglas K., summa cum laude, Kate Elaine King, Andrea L. Lara, Madison K. Lindsay, Jaden Lior, magna cum laude, Lita, Mia Louise Littleton, Rachel Albert Lotzer, Liza Alile Lopez, Liza Alile Lopez, Kendall Michelle Mahaney, magna cum laude, Madison Elizabeth Mann, Kristen Nicole Marion, Anita Hope Martinez, cum laude, Margaret Linta Mikula, magna cum laude, Katharina Liray Mireles, Timothy Michael William Mitchell, magna cum laude, Ayana S. Moten, magna cum laude, Hannah Grace Nosto, Julie Kim Nguyen, cum laude, Grayson Davis Olds, Misha R. Patel, magna cum laude, Mario Anthony Perez, Noemi Marie Perez, summa cum laude, Catherine Elizabeth Peterson, summa cum laude, Ashley Marie Pulido, Clarissa B. Ramon, Brandon Anthony Richardson, Alexander James Rodriguez, Marissa Annette Rodriguez, Brianna M. Rodriguez, Madison Mackenzie Ross, Jeremy Cruz Ruiz, Reynaldo Sainz, Javier Joel Salazar, Benjamin Michael Salinas, Islen Salinas Peña, Aileen Sanchez, Matthew James Scona, magna cum laude, Joshua Scott Slowey, Jesus Romero, cum laude, Angelica Marie Solis, Leah Renee Solis, Shelby Madison Sprinkle. Emily K. Stewart, cum laude. Sarah Stewart. Kyle Matthew Sturman. Brooke M. Tedder. Corbin H. Tribes, summa cum laude. Carolina Isabel Uvalle, cum laude. Evelyn Samantha Valadez. Fernanda Y. Valadez. Gabriela Valdovinos. Dalton Taylor Vance. Christian Villegas. Nathan G. Weeks. Kayla Madison White, summa cum laude. Eric Williams. Mary Grace Winton. Destiny Renee Winsenreid. Keegan Thomas Wood. Vanessa Marie Zapata, summa cum laude. Tyson A. Cepeda. College of Science, Bachelor of Science. Catherine Frances Acker. Camilla Anderson, summa cum laude. Kata Lynn Archer. Tarzan Arturo Arguiles. Samantha Layla Bacall. Eaton Thomas Backless. Evan Alexander Backless. Nancy Mary Ballard. Connor Lane Boffman. Caleb Michael Bonds. Ainsley. Jade Ainsley Bennett. Kaylee Alexa Birdsong. Cassandra Nicole Bonilla. Brianna Raquel Bowman. Erin Jane Brinza. Navina K. Kale, summa cum laude. Brandon Logan Gunner Carrion, magna cum laude. Brianna D. Clark. Andrea Marie Cross, cum laude. James D. Cure. Mackenzie Caroline Cole. Lilani D. Davis, cum laude. Rebecca Noel Davis, magna cum laude. Emma Catherine Dickovic. Raylan Renee de los Santos. Connor Mills Duncan. Desiree Angelie Eaglin. Sierra Cristina Scamilla. Sierra Lou Almeda Fields. Mia Flores. Lillian Elizabeth Fultz. Guillermo Garcia. Miranda Nicole Garcia, magna cum laude. Bianca Garcia Rivas. Shane Austin Gary, cum laude. Valerie Garza. Peter W. Gibson. Coy W. Gillum. Beyonce Aveli Gomez. Natalie Nicole Gomez. Rice Brianne Hales, cum laude. Lainey Hargita. Radley S. Harris. Virginia M. Hemming, magna cum laude. Nasana D. Henley, summa cum laude. Jezebel Sky Hernandez. Anissa Angelie Hilaire. Sarah S. Holtz. Elijah E. Houston. Vincent Louis Jarris, summa cum laude. Harley Drew Johnson. Grace Autumn Kelly. Colleen Michaela Kilbury. Colleen. Thea E. Kraft. Megan Elena Kutzer. Berchelin D. Laguna. Michaela Nicole LeVake, summa cum laude. Brock Matthew Leeton. Danielle Nicole Leshek, cum laude. Lesicki. Eric S. Lopez. Taylor Estelle Massoff. Robin Bautista Manahan, magna cum laude. Haley Elizabeth Massey. Brooklyn Gay McWilliams, cum laude. Mary Carmen Mendoza. Miranda R. Mitchell. Maria K. Moreno, magna cum laude. Julia Ann Muniz. Tristan Georgia Nemec. Hyen T. Nguyen. Jacqueline Ann Nicolay. Elizabeth Gay Olivares. Colin Stephen Otubanjo, summa cum laude. Alexander Paul Ovesi. John Miguel Benya Baker. Christopher Jacob Perez. Isabella Rayan Pruitt. Leila Nirmaja Punjabi, magna cum laude. Carol Melania Ramirez Prado. Layla M. Rayburn. Gisera Emily K. Reed, summa cum laude. Lauren Reeder. Estefan Ricardo Resendez. Ivan Jacob Reyes. Lauren Grace Reina. Peyton Elizabeth Rios. Emmanuel J. Rivera. Paige L. Rogers, cum laude. Mariana Rojas. Nati A. Rosales. Kelleen Grace Kendall Rushfelt, cum laude. Antonio Alexander T. Salazar. Leah Grace Aldivar. Cynthia Mariana Sanchez. Polly Elizabeth Schnettler. Marissa N. Spinelli, summa cum laude. Celesta Sue Stinson. Jordan Straight, cum laude. Catherine Grace Tiliaferro, summa cum laude. Catherine Grace Tiliaferro, summa cum laude. Alexandra Ray Tello. Chloe Rose Thomas, summa cum laude. Amaya Tondre, magna cum laude. Dati Tron, cum laude. Cindy DM Vaquero. Abigail Danielle Vasquez. Alexis Vasquez. Brianna Venable. Grace Annalise Walsh. Andrew Thomas Waltrip. Amelia Rain White. Matthew Waltrip. Anuka Wilstead Justel, magna cum laude, Hustel. Sarah Kathleen Inigas, summa cum laude, Libravo Zavala III. Bria Rain Zettelmoyer, cum laude. School of Arts, Media and Communication, Bachelor of Arts, Ashton A. Acuna. Kennedy Renee Alexander, summa cum laude. Gabriel Noah Almager, cum laude. Megan Bain, magna cum laude. Marian Cavazos Beckett. Mason Rush Bowling, cum laude. Melissa Elizabeth Boyle. Mackenzie Ann Broderick. Tana Danielle Cantu. Isabella Ortiz Carrion. Michaela Alicia Clifford, magna cum laude. Damian D. Cuevas, cum laude. Allison Paige Davison. Marlene De Leon. Natalie Kate Dollar. Bethany Emma Durantes. Carl D. Dorncipher, magna cum laude. Madeline Ashley Duguay. Madison Marie Eason. Grace R. Eaton, magna cum laude. Gabriela Danielle Esqueda. Rodolfo Fabella Cernas. Eric Garcia. Kevin Daniel Garcia, cum laude. Lorenzo Ray Garza, cum laude. Roberto Andres Garza. Halil Hamoué. Kevin Daniel Hamoud, magna cum laude. Douglas H. Harley, cum laude. Justin Hattersley. Brianna Gay Hernandez, summa cum laude. Chloe Elizabeth Hill, magna cum laude. Grayson Scott Hughes. Melissa Elena Kutzer. Macy Ann Lincoln. Erica Danielle Mahaffey. John M. Manuel. Alyssa Leigh Martinez. Chelsea Addison Matea. Grace Elizabeth McDonald. Emily K. Mickish, summa cum laude. Erin Grace Moeller, magna cum laude. Bianca Benavides Munoz, summa cum laude. Vampi Nguyen, magna cum laude. Liliana Ortiz. Riley Danielle Patterson. Erica Marie Rios Pedraza, summa cum laude. Carolina Bettis Cancel. Ryan Page Phillips. Carlos Cameron Pinon. Madison Michelle Pankowski, cum laude. Xavier Alonso Pon. Mason Patrick Rausch. Jaden Love Ray. Hameen Reynolds. Taylor Ann Rice, summa cum laude. Allie McKay Rips. Michaela Perry Roberts, cum laude. Greta Noel Rome, cum laude. John David Sanchez. Corey P. Sayer, magna cum laude. Preston D. Sneed. Jesse Solis, cum laude. Nelson C. Thornton. Victoria May Tilley. Beyond Tron, magna cum laude. Aurora Stephanie Usai, magna cum laude. Yuyana J. Vasquez. Calissa Annalise Vasquez. Deanne Wright Ford, cum laude. Mina Yamaguchi, cum laude. Natalie Megan Zismeyer, cum laude. Lucian Jonas Zuniga. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Miranda Christine Garcia. William Stewart Livingston, cum laude. Emily Marie Nelslage. Laura K. Patterson, cum laude. Sebastian Elliott Plum, cum laude. Amara M. Sines, cum laude. Bachelor of Music, Gabriel J. Brandt, cum laude. Alexandra Danielle Cantu. Jonathan M. Conyers. John Conyers. Enya Fiorella Lopez. Fatima C. Marcello. Diego Valentin Molina, summa cum laude. Danielle Marie Sanchez, cum laude. Jessica Valdez, magna cum laude. College of Engineering and Computer Science, Bachelor of Science, Alejandro Roel Montelongo.
As our graduates are making their way back to their seats, I would like to first give a very special thank you to Dr. Carmen Tejeda Delgado for reading 1,409 names. Stand up, Carmen. This is the hero of commencement, so give this woman a big round of applause. We are so grateful to her. I would also like to express my sincere congratulations. Each of you graduates have made and will continue to make a great impact in all that you do. And whether your journey after graduation keeps you close to Corpus Christi or takes you around the world, please know that your Islander family is so proud of you. So why don't you stand up one more time and let's give them a big round of applause and cheer. Please be seated. We will now proceed with the commissioning of 2 officers in the United States Army. I would like to confirm that John Pena Baker and Lucian Zuniga have met all the requirements to be commissioned officers in the grade of 2nd Lieutenant in the United States Army. Commissioning will be conducted by Lieutenant Colonel Andrew J. Stevens.
All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Lucian Zuniga,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully
that I will and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
on which I'm about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We would also like to recognize all our veterans and active duty servicemen and women in attendance today. Would all veterans and active duty military please stand and allow us to thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce Ms. Kimberly Cook, class of 1994 and president of Texas A&M University Corpus Christi's National Alumni Association, as she welcomes you as their newest alums.
Good afternoon. Congratulations, Islanders. Welcome to the Islander Alumni Association. If you are in our audience and are one of our 65,000 alumni who have graduated from our wonderful university, Could you please stand up and help me welcome our newest group of members? Thank you. Please be seated. Graduates, you are here. You're done. Though your collegiate journey may have been difficult and with challenges, I hope your time as an Islander has been valuable and memorable. As you look back, use this time to reminisce on the positive impact that the university has had on your life. Today will be another page to add to your catalog of memories. It is your first day to be an official alumni of your alma mater. As alumni, our reach stretches across the nation with members in every state and in many countries around the globe. As you begin your journey away from the island, let me challenge you to 3 simple endeavors as alumni. First, stay connected. Continue to stay close to your professors, this great university, and the Alumni Association. Read their Islander magazine. Follow us on one of our many social media channels and stay in tune to the alumni events happening in your area. Second, stay engaged. There are dozens of meaningful ways for you to stay engaged, both with your fellow graduates and the university. Join an alumni chapter, visit us during homecoming, or mentor a new student. Third and last, show your Islander pride. Let everyone know that you are proud of your university. Proudly display your diploma on your wall, wear an Islander t-shirt, or join us at an Islander sporting event. Now, to help seal your commitment to this challenge, each graduate has been given a small token that is presented only to alumni. When you leave today, you'll discover a small lapel pin in your diploma tube. Fasten this pin on your chest. You can officially call yourselves Islander alumni. Wear this pin as a symbol of your commitment. Everyone, let's give these new alumni a round of applause. On behalf of the Islander alumni and the National Alumni Board of Directors, welcome to our Islander alumni family. Congratulations and go Islanders. Shock is up.
Graduates, you have many people to thank for reaching this point in your life. Will all the mothers, fathers, spouses, children, and other family members of the graduates please stand? Graduates, it's your time to congratulate them and thank them for what they've done for you. You may be seated. As we conclude this commencement ceremony, I would like to thank once again our commencement speaker, Dr. Scott Eliff, for his address to our students. The music today was being performed by the Symphonic Winds under the direction of Dr. Brian Shelton, Director of Instrumental Ensembles and Professor of Music. My sincere thanks for the wonderful music that we had here today. I would also like to thank all who came out today to honor our graduates. This is a very special day in their lives, and we're very grateful that you are willing to be here and be a part of it. For the safety of our guests, please remain seated until the platform party and the graduates have exited the arena. Graduates will be exiting out the building towards Shoreline Boulevard. Please meet them there. Graduates, let me end today's ceremony by saying thank you. Thank you for all the honor and prestige that you have brought to Texas A&M University Corpus Christi as students. Thank you for all the honor and prestige I know that you will create as successful professionals and community leaders. You set a goal and you achieved that goal. You achieved an educational level that very few in this world ever obtain. And by achieving this goal, each of you has proven that you are a leader. You are the future of this university, this state, this nation, and this world. Now go make your Islander impact. Invest your time, your energy, your skills, your knowledge into making your definition, your vision of success a reality. And never forget, no matter where life may take you, you will always have a home here at the island. You are Islanders forever. Congratulations, shock us up, and go Islanders.